I'm Huon Hooke, and this is The Real Review. The wine we're tasting today is Smallwater Estate Shiraz 2019, and it comes from the Geograph region of Western Australia. So the backstory to this wine is quite an interesting one. It's a chap called Small, hence the name Smallwater Estate. John Small is his name. The vineyard was planted in 1993, but for at least 10 years he supplied his grapes to other wineries, principally Cape Mentelle down in Margaret River. So John Small established this property to produce Marin, and so there are lots of dams with Marin in them. Marin being the little, not so little, medium-sized Western Australian native freshwater crayfish. So they're bigger than a yabby but smaller than a lobster, and they are a delicacy. They are great things to eat. So the vineyard was a sideline really to the Marin farming business, and if you look carefully at the label, there is a vine leaf, and superimposed on the vine leaf is a wine glass with a Marin crawling out of the wine glass. It's quite cute, very subtly done, and meaningful, of course. So the Geograph region, of course, is east and north of Margaret River. So immediately north of Margaret River is a bay called Geograph Bay, and the Geograph region sort of curls around that bay. It's a very good region. It's not nearly as well known as Margaret River or Mount Barker or Great Southern or the Swan Valley. It's a bit later coming into the picture, but I think the wines that I've been tasting for the last 10 years from the Geograph region really indicate that it's an up-and-coming region, and certainly one to watch. So this wine comes from a little town called Donnybrook. The other names of towns to remember in the Geograph region: Capel down the south. You've got the Ferguson Valley, also not far from Donnybrook. Those are the critical parts of the Geograph region. So what does this wine taste like? This Smallwater Estate Shiraz 2019. First thing you notice is the colour is terrific. It's got wonderful depth of crimson, purple tinged colour, a very fresh, very youthful, very bright colour. And the nose is terrific. Again, it's got power, it's got personality, it's got very much a spicy, cool climate character to it. It's not particularly cool climate in Donnybrook, but it's cool enough to give you those spicy characters. There are dark cherries and plums there as well, which are perhaps more typical of Shiraz, but the spices are really the high-tone things that leap out of the glass. There's not too much oak there at all. In fact, the oak is very background, which I approve of wholeheartedly. Let's have a taste. Yep, very, very good indeed. Powerful, full-bodied wine. Not heavy, not clumsy, not clunky. The tannins are nicely tailored, nicely sculpted. They're not heavy tannins or astringent tannins. But there's good tannin there, which a good Shiraz should have, to give you backbone and the strength to go with hearty food. Really, really smart wine. And I did notice that on the back label, on the front label in fact, it says 15.2% alcohol. So you might be scared off by that, but you shouldn't be, because it's not noticeable. The wine is certainly well balanced, and I wonder if that's really very accurate, but it sounds very precise, 15.2. But I think it's a lovely, lovely young Shiraz. It's drinking quite well now, and will go on for the future. Interestingly, that wine was judged the best Shiraz at the 2020 Australian New Zealand Boutique Wineries competition. So that's no small achievement. That's a very good achievement. So how do we rate this wine? Well, we scored it 96 points, which is a good, strong gold ribbon score, and sort of reflects the fact that it's won a trophy in a wine show, at least one that I know of. And it was rated top rank because it was number 1 out of 20 Shirazes of the 2019 vintage from southwest Western Australia that we've tasted. So number 1 out of 20, you can't do much better than that. Very, very good. We've said drink now till 2034, so Really, a 15-year wine, no problem. Yeah, interestingly, for a wine of that power, that strength, that intensity, it is really nice to drink now. I could easily drink a couple of glasses of that with dinner right now. And we asked John Small what he would recommend as a food match, and he said 2 possibilities, lamb rack or Scotch fillet. And I think if you roasted the lamb rack in the oven, it would be very, very good indeed. Perhaps have a sauce with it, maybe a reduction sauce with a bit of pesto in it perhaps. And the second suggestion is Scotch fillet. So again, barbecued or just simply grilled, that would be excellent with this wine. Cheers to that.